Guys, you won't believe what happened at a peaceful marina. A beloved mother of 4 was found hanging from a dock, and her boyfriend has been charged with her death. In this video, we're diving deep into the shocking details, unraveling the mystery piece by piece. What led to this tragic event? Who is really responsible? Stick around because we've got exclusive insights and jaw-dropping revelations that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this. Are you ready to uncover the shocking details behind one of the most chilling discoveries in League City's history? Today, we dive deep into the mysterious and tragic death of Giselle Tapia-Salazar. What happened on that fateful morning at Wharf Marina? Get ready for a story filled with suspense, unexpected twists, and a quest for justice. Let's begin. The quiet morning of May 31st, 2024, the Wharf Marina in League City, Texas, regarded for its serene waters and scenic views, became all at once converted into a scene of tragedy. Giselle Tapia-Salazar, a 30-year vintage mom of 4 and a cherished member of the network, was located putting from a dock, sending shockwaves through the town. James Hart, Giselle's boyfriend with whom she shared a boat, pronounced her lacking around 6 a.m., sparking a direct police response. Residents of League City, aware of the marina's tranquil ambience, were taken aback through the grim discovery. The incident raised pressing questions on the situation's meaning to Giselle's dying and triggered a rapid and thorough research. Christian Allen, a neighbor who first noticed Giselle's frame, to start with mistook it for an object within the water earlier than realizing the tragic truth. As information spread, the community grappled with disbelief and sorrow, amassing in vigils and memorials to honor Giselle's memory. The media's coverage intensified public hobby, highlighting the need for answers. Law enforcement businesses, consisting of local police and federal authorities, launched into a meticulous research, reviewing substantial surveillance photos and conducting interviews to piece together the events preceding Giselle's tragic loss of life. The Wharf Marina, once a sanctuary for entertainment and community gatherings, now stood as a poignant image of loss and unanswered questions. Giselle's loss of life, not handiest, shattered the tranquility of the place, however additionally united the metropolis in a shared determination toward seeking justice. The investigation into her dying promised to unravel the thriller and offer closure to a network mourning the lack of a colorful member. Imagine starting your day with a peaceful walk, only to stumble upon a horrifying scene. That's exactly what happened at Wharf Marina. What led to the shocking discovery of Giselle Tapia-Salazar's body hanging from a dock? Let's uncover the details of this chilling morning. The Wharf Marina, once a picturesque retreat, became now the backdrop for a complicated research into the instances surrounding Giselle Tapia-Salazar's premature dying. The early morning discovery via Christian Allen, who to begin with mistook her useless shape for an inanimate object, activate a series of occasions that might grip the network of League City. James Hart's record of her disappearance earlier that morning introduced urgency to the unfolding situation, prompting law enforcement to mobilize quickly. Authorities meticulously combed through the scene, analyzing every detail to recognize how Giselle, a beloved mother, came to be putting from the quay dock. The question of the way this kind of tragedy should spread in an area acknowledged for its tranquility and scenic splendor weighed heavily on residents. The investigation, which blanketed an in-depth evaluation of surveillance footage and thorough interviews, aimed to piece collectively the timeline leading up to her death and shed light on the circumstances that led to this grim final results. The surprise and grief rippled through the network as the news unfolded, turning the once serene marina right into a somber reflection of loss and unanswered questions. Vigils and gatherings in Giselle's memory became a focal point for the ones searching for solace and justice, underscoring the impact of her dying on people who knew her. Media coverage amplified the general public's hobby, drawing attention to the need for readability and responsibility within the research. As investigators continued their painstaking work, the community rallied around Giselle's circle of relatives, presenting aid and harmony throughout this hard time. The Wharf Marina, once a place of enjoyment and escape, now stood as a poignant reminder of existence reduced short and the determination to find justice for Giselle Tapia-Salazar. The serene Wharf Marina, known for its beauty, was shattered by the discovery of Giselle's body. How did the community react to such a gruesome finding in their tranquil haven? Let's delve into the raw emotions and disbelief that swept through League City. On the tranquil morning of May 31, 2024, the discovery of Giselle Tapia-Salazar's frame at Wharf Marina dispatched shockwaves via League City. Residents, familiar with the quay's serene surroundings for amusement and community gatherings, have been greatly surprised by the way of the grim turn of activities. The non-violent waters, which as soon as mirrored the calm sky, now bore witness to an unsettling tragedy that challenged the network's experience of protection and normalcy. Friends, who frequented the marina for relaxation and exercise, observed themselves grappling with disbelief and sorrow as information of Giselle's dying spread rapidly. The initial confusion and subject surrounding her disappearance earlier that morning had been compounded via the heartbreaking discovery of her dead form placing from the dock. Christian Allen, a neighbor whose recurring morning walk became interrupted via the sight, stated the disbelief of mistaking her frame for something else earlier than knowing the tragic fact. The network's emotional reaction became palpable as they amassed in impromptu vigils and memorials to honor Giselle's memory. These gatherings have become an area for sharing testimonies of her kindness and the high-quality impact she had on those around her. The outpouring of grief underscored the deep loss felt by way of Giselle's own family and pals, highlighting the profound impact of her unexpected and tragic dying at the network. Media coverage of the incident played an important role in shaping public notion and information of the unfolding tragedy. News outlets said notably on the investigation, detailing the community's surprise and the efforts of regulation enforcement to unravel the circumstances surrounding Giselle's loss of life. The media's portrayal amplified the urgency for answers and underscored the want for transparency in the research manner. As the investigation progressed, the serene backdrop of Wharf Marina transformed into a solemn reminder of Giselle's lifestyles and the unanswered questions surrounding her death. The community's collective grief and the search for justice have become intertwined with memories of happier times spent at the quay, growing a poignant evaluation among past tranquility and present sorrow. With suspicions of foul play looming, investigators launched into a relentless search for the truth. How did they piece together the events leading up to Giselle's tragic death? Join us as we explore the intense investigation that gripped the entire community. Following the discovery of Giselle Tapia-Salazar's body at Wharf Marina on May 31, 2024, suspicions of foul play at once surfaced, prompting a speedy and complete research. Law enforcement corporations, which includes local police and federal government, mobilized to scrutinize the occasions surrounding her death. The research became marked by meticulous efforts to collect evidence and interview witnesses who might shed light at the occasions leading to Giselle's tragic demise. One of the primary challenges faced through investigators became the review of extensive surveillance pictures from the jetty and its surroundings. Nearly 2,000 movies had been meticulously analyzed to identify any suspicious pastime or capacity leads that might resolve the thriller. The mission demanded a scientific approach to make sure no detail was overlooked in the pursuit of reality and justice. Forensic professionals played a pivotal position in the investigation, meticulously examining physical proof recovered from the scene. This included studying Giselle's apparel, personal belongings, and other items observed close to her frame to ascertain any symptoms of conflict, injury, or different essential clues that might provide insights into the situations of her loss of life. Interviews with witnesses emerged as any other essential factor of the investigation, aimed at constructing a timeline of activities and accumulating statistics pivotal to know how the moments leading up to Giselle's tragic give-up. Investigators diligently pursued leads and cross-referenced witness statements with bodily proof to set up a coherent narrative of what transpired on that fateful morning. The investigation into Giselle's demise worried close coordination and collaboration amongst diverse regulation enforcement agencies, reflecting the complexity and gravity of the case. Local police worked hand in hand with nation government and federal businesses to pool sources and knowledge, ensuring a complete technique to uncovering the truth and bringing closure to the grieving community. As the investigation stepped forward, public interest and media scrutiny intensified, amplifying the urgency for answers and duty. The network's call for justice echoed through public demonstrations and appeals for facts, underscoring the collective clear-up to searching for closure for Giselle's circle of relatives and prevent such tragedies from habitual of their midst. Throughout the research, amid mounting suspicion and public hobby, Hart's protection group engaged vigorously in refuting allegations and offering opportunity reasons to counter the prosecution's claims. The courtroom have become a level for prison battles, characterized with the aid of heated exchanges, emotional testimonies, and the presentation of evidence intended to sway the jury's perception. As the trial spread out, the prosecution asserted prices towards Hart, accusing him of tampering with evidence to impede justice. These allegations underscored the gravity of the case, suggesting planned moves geared toward altering the crime scene and influencing the investigation's outcome. The defense countered with techniques geared toward casting doubt at the prosecution's narrative and hard the credibility of witnesses and proof provided. The judicial lawsuits surrounding Hart's involvement in Giselle's dying highlighted the complexities of crook regulation and the emotional toll on all parties involved. Key moments in the court docket drama included the presentation of forensic evidence, expert testimony, and the emotional effect on both the sufferers and defendants' households. Throughout the trial, the Chiefs performed a pivotal position in overseeing lawsuits, ensuring adherence to prison standards and honest treatment of all events. Decisions regarding the admissibility of evidence and procedural subjects have been crucial in shaping the final results of the case and determining Hart's legal culpability. As the courtroom drama unfolded, the community and Giselle's family awaited justice with bated breath, looking for closure and duty for her untimely loss of life. The trial served as a stark reminder of the profound effect of home tragedies and the importance of a radical and impartial felony system in addressing them. Shocking evidence and serious charges against James Hart. How did the prosecution build their case? We'll break down the crucial moments that painted Hart's actions as deliberate and deceptive. You won't believe what the evidence reveals. Charges had been introduced towards James Hart because the trial stepped forward, alleging he had interfered with evidence to hinder justice following Giselle Tapia-Salazar's loss of life on May 31, 2024. The seriousness of those accusations recommended deliberate moves aimed at altering the crime scene and deceptive investigators. The prosecution's case centered on distinct evidence alleging tampering with Giselle's belongings and tries to govern forensic findings. Throughout the trial, the prosecution offered a series of compelling evidence towards Hart, aiming to set up a story of guilt. This protected testimony from witnesses, forensic professionals, and analysis of surveillance pictures from the Marina. Each piece of proof changed into meticulously scrutinized to build a case that painted Hart's moves as intentional and geared toward protecting up the circumstances of Giselle's demise. In response, Hart's defense group hooked up a sturdy protection approach, Hart the prosecution's evidence and witness stories. They sought to create doubt across the allegations of proof tampering, presenting opportunity reasons and wondering the reliability of the prosecution's narrative. The court became a battleground where felony arguments and emotional stakes collided, with both sides vying to form the jury's perception and have an effect on the trial's outcome. Key moments in the course of the trial protected the dramatic presentation of evidence, emotional testimonies, and extreme cross-examinations aimed at uncovering the reality at the back of Giselle's dying. The judge's position in overseeing the lawsuits became vital, making sure equity and adherence to criminal standards at some point of the trial. As the trial progressed, public hobby remained excessive, with media coverage amplifying the stakes and highlight on the case. The network's collective grief and demand for justice underscored the profound impact of Giselle's loss of life and the significance of conserving those accountable via an intensive felony manner. The community's response was nothing short of emotional. Vigils, memorials, and public outcry. How did League City rally around Giselle's family? Let's explore the powerful reaction that united the community in their demand for justice. Following Giselle Tapia-Salazar's tragic loss of life at the Wharf Marina on May 31, 2024, the League City network was deeply shaken. Known for its serene ecosystem, the Marina had emerged as the backdrop for a sudden and devastating occasion that left residents grappling with shock and sorrow. Giselle, a beloved mom of 4, were a cherished member of the community, recognized for her warmth and generosity. In reaction to the tragedy, vigils and memorials had been prepared to honor Giselle's reminiscence. These gatherings have become emotional focal factors wherein buddies, circle of relatives, and network individuals amass to pay their respects and provide aid to one another. Candles have been lit, prayers have been said, and heartfelt tributes have been shared, reflecting the profound impact Giselle had on the ones around her. Esperanza Alegría, Giselle's sister, emerged as a vocal advocate for justice, expressing her own family's dedication to seek answers and hold accountable the ones answerable for Giselle's demise. The network rallied around the Tapia-Salazar circle of relatives, organizing fundraising activities and awareness campaigns to support them throughout this difficult time. Public demonstrations and marches have become structures for network contributors to specify their call for justice and make certain that Giselle's demise would now not be useless. These occasions galvanized public guide and underscored the community's cohesion in searching for closure and duty. Throughout the grieving method, the media performed a crucial role in amplifying the network's voice and preserving the public knowledgeable about developments in the case. Their insurance highlighted the continuing investigation, legal court cases, and network efforts to honor Giselle's legacy. As the investigation endured, the community remained steadfast in their dedication to finding justice for Giselle Tapia-Salazar. Their unwavering aid and determination were a testimony to the power of network team spirit inside the face of tragedy. The search for answers didn't end with the initial findings. What new leads and evidence emerged as the investigation continued? Join us as we follow the relentless pursuit of truth by law enforcement agencies. In the wake of Giselle Tapia-Salazar's tragic death on the wharf Marina on May 31, 2024, law enforcement companies launched into an extensive and complex investigation to get to the bottom of the situations surrounding her passing. This research spanned more than one jurisdictions and involved collaboration among neighborhood police, country government, and federal groups, highlighting the gravity and complexity of the case. Forensic analysis performed a pivotal position in the investigation, with specialists meticulously analyzing physical evidence recovered from the scene. This covered scrutinizing Giselle's apparel, private assets, and any items determined in close proximity to her body. Every detail became tested to decide if there were signs of war, accidents, or other clues that might shed light at the occasions main to her demise. Surveillance pictures from the jetty and surrounding areas have become an essential focus of the research, with investigators meticulously reviewing lots of hours of pictures. Each frame was analyzed in element, looking for any suspicious interest or capability leads that could offer insight into what passed off to Giselle inside the moments earlier than her death. Interviews with witnesses, which includes folks that were at the jetty across the time of the incident, were performed extensively. Investigators sought to piece collectively a timeline of occasions and accumulate records that would help establish the series of activities main up to Giselle's tragic discovery. The investigation relied closely on public assistance, with law enforcement urging anyone with information associated with Giselle's demise to come ahead. Community engagement was vital in generating leads and providing additional views that would useful resource in fixing the case. As the research stepped forward, updates had been regularly communicated to the public through media briefings and network outreach efforts. This transparency helped keep public recognition and underscored the dedication of regulation enforcement to uncovering the reality and turning in justice for Giselle Tapia-Salazar and her circle of relatives. The ongoing efforts of law enforcement and forensic professionals underscored a commitment to thoroughness and diligence of their pursuit of justice. Despite the demanding situations posed through the case's complexity, authorities remained committed to uncovering all applicable records and bringing closure to Giselle's loved ones and the community affected by her untimely dying. How does Giselle's case compare to other high-profile investigations? We'll take a look at similar cases to understand the challenges faced and the strategies employed to seek justice. This broader perspective is essential to grasp the full picture. To completely realize the complexities surrounding Giselle Tapia-Salazar's case, it's far crucial to observe it inside the context of comparable incidents and the wider prison framework. comparative instances provide valuable insights into investigative strategies and criminal techniques hired in cases of suspicious deaths, especially the ones occurring in apparently tranquil settings just like the Wharf Marina in League City, Texas. Each case, at the same time, is specific in its details, stocks not unusual factors that shed light on the challenges confronted with the aid of regulation enforcement and judicial government. For example, investigations into suspicious deaths often depend on huge forensic evaluation, surveillance footage overview, and witness testimony to reconstruct events leading up to the tragedy. Legal strategies and court docket techniques play a big function in shaping the outcome of such cases. Defense and prosecution teams strategically navigate proof presentation and witness tales to persuade jury perceptions and set up their respective narratives. Understanding these dynamics gives crucial insights into how Giselle's case became approached and controlled in the prison system. Media insurance and public response also have an effect on the trajectory of excessive profile investigations. Public demonstrations, vigils, and community outreach efforts function systems for expressing collective grief and annoying justice. Examining comparable cases offers a broader perspective on how media portrayal and public sentiment can impact the investigative process in felony proceedings. By exploring parallels with other awesome instances, along with those concerning unresolved mysteries or contentious criminal trials, we benefit a deeper know-how of the investigative demanding situations and prison complexities inherent in cases like Giselle's. This comparative method underscores the importance of thoroughness, transparency, and community engagement in addressing such touchy topics and making sure accountability inside the justice device. And the prison complaints noticed James Hart, Giselle's boyfriend, facing severe expenses associated with the case, reflecting the complexities and demanding situations of the justice system. The courtroom have become a battleground where arguments had been provided, proof scrutinized, and emotions ran excessive. The ongoing investigation persevered to have interaction both local and federal authorities, emphasizing the collaborative attempt to uncover the truth. Public participation remained important, with appeals for records and community aid riding the search for solutions. As the community mourns Giselle's untimely loss of life, they stay hopeful that justice will be triumphant. Her legacy of kindness and love will keep to inspire efforts to ensure responsibility and closure for her family and loved ones. Thank you for following this story. Your continued engagement and guide are preferred as we watch for similarly traits in this ongoing investigation. Together, we attempt to honor Giselle Tapia-Salazar's memory and uphold the standards of justice and fact.